Thank you so much. It's truly a pleasure to have you with us today. On behalf of AstroTeach team, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to join us today. Your contribution in exoplanet research and space science have been remarkable, and we are excited to learn more about your journey and expertise.
Hi, everybody. I'm Professor Sara Seager. I work at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Boston, Massachusetts, USA. Right now, I'm an astrophysicist for my job. And it all started a long time ago when I was a child in Canada, growing up in Ontario. And I was really lucky because when I was about 10 years old, my family went on a camping trip for the first time. And I was very lucky because it was a dark sky and a clear night. And I woke up in the middle of the night and went outside my tent and looked up, and I saw so many stars. I hope you and everyone has been able to see the dark night sky because it's just tremendous. I'd never seen it. Nothing could have prepared me for just the awesomeness that the night sky is. And throughout my childhood, occasionally I had an experience with astronomy, like looking through a telescope. But when I got to high school, I started learning physics. And eventually I realized we could apply physics to the stars and other things out there, like galaxies in the early universe and planet formation. And I just thought it was so amazing that we could ask our own questions and use telescopes and math and computers and physics to answer our own questions. And that's what led me to be an astronomer. When I was in graduate school in the mid 1990s, I was looking for a PhD thesis topic. And right at that time, the first exoplanets were discovered. Exoplanets orbiting stars other than the sun. So there was no field of exoplanet research like there is today. But my thesis advisor suggested I might want to work on these brand new objects, and I chose to. I decided I would work on it. And there just wasn't enough material in stars being born to form them. So there was a whole debate about whether exoplanets were even real. Well, I would say my main mentor and influencer was my dad. He's not alive now, but he always pushed me to be more confident. He pushed me to think big. And he pushed me to have dreams like beyond our everyday and know how to reach them. Well, initially, growing up in Toronto, Canada, my dad was very unusual in the way he raised me because he exposed me to a lot of ideas that he believed in that I didn't believe in. And so it forced me to think through complex things at a young age. Like I said, he also taught me how to take risks and think big. And all of those things are very, very important for science. So I would say that my personal upbringing was very formative for my success as a scientist, for sure. But in my case, I had a major tragedy when I was older. My first husband got cancer and he didn't make it. And it's very, very hard to be a mom, a single mom, a widowed single mom in science. And Mary Curie was all of those. It turned out she was like a mom. She got widowed because remember, Pierre Curie got hit by the horse cart. And so I really, at that point in my life, really got inspired by her to see how she could make it through. Then I knew I could make it through.
How close do you think we are to finding a truly habitable planet?
Venus may be truly habitable. Venus may have life in the clouds, little bacteria, tiny forms of life just barely eking out an existence. Our clouds have life temporarily. So it really depends how you look at it. It could be in our solar system. We all love the idea that Mars might have some life just beneath its surface. Saturn's moon Titan, perhaps that has life in its liquid lakes of methane and ethane. As for exoplanets, it's tricky because we don't have enough information. We will definitely have candidates that we think are habitable or that might have life, might have signs of life. But to be 100% sure, it's a much, much trickier answer. When I was working on exoplanets in the mid 1990s and early 2000s, we're not very many people working on it. And it gave me the time and opportunity to pioneer many new methods. And some of those methods today are the main way we study exoplanet atmospheres. Well, the James Webb Space Telescope is a once-in-a-lifetime telescope. It took 30 years from concept to launch, and the Webb plays a very important role. The Webb is studying planet atmospheres in the way I described and using other methods. The JWST is also studying planet formation, looking to help us understand how planets form. You may not know, but our solar system appears to be rare. Out of the thousands of exoplanets we have not found any solar system copies. But the Roman telescope will help address how rare is our solar system, and it will help us understand the variety of planets out there. Now, can you imagine that the most common type of planet we think is in our galaxy is a planet 2 to 3 times the size of Earth, and there's no solar system counterpart?
What are the biggest misconceptions people have about exoplanets and search for the life beyond Earth?
The world is set up to take confidence away from women and underrepresented groups.